Hey everyone, welcome back to Yellow Jacket Garage. You caught me kind of in the middle of tearing something apart before I put other stuff back together. Early on in this project, when we did the four-wheel discs, remember the rear brakes, the parking brake cable ends didn't match up with the Wilwood brake system, and so that's what we're going to remedy today. It shouldn't be that difficult of a project. It's, here's the cable kit. I'll show you the side that you can kind of see. Anyway, the ends of these work with those parking brake little caliper thingies for the brake shoes, and so that's what we're going to do, is swap these old cables out, which I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but here's the wires that are from the broken cables that need to be replaced. And so I'm going to go ahead and spritz these. Well, I don't have to spritz that side with enough leaking transmission fluid and oil and everything down this car that should come off pretty easy. This side is rusty, so I'm going to hit it with some PV Blaster, let it set for a little bit, and then we'll pull this all apart and see how easy or how difficult this job is. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hey, I'm over 500. I know I said that in the last video, but I'm even further over 500. So, hey, keep it up. Keep hitting that subscribe, share it with your friends, and tell everybody that you know that I'm the guy to watch. So, just kidding. Anyway, hey, thanks for being here. Let's go ahead and jump into this project. Okay, first things first, I'm going to hit it with some PV Blaster. I have a drain pan. Let me turn this thing. I know it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference, but there's a little dot in there anyway. Let's go ahead and hit this. Watch your eyes. All right. Well, one little bit right there. I want to make sure I coat everything else underneath here really good, even the stuff that doesn't need to be sprayed. So anyway, there we are. We'll let that sit for just a few minutes and then jump in here, pull this part apart. And, all right, so this is a relatively easy thing to take apart. It's a 1/2-inch wrench. I'm going to see if, oh, that one, I forget that ratchet wrench doesn't like to work that way. There we go. Okay, this is the rusty side, so this one's going to be the one that probably takes a little bit more to get apart. And just like that. Come on now. It's probably hot. Sure enough, it is. Okay, now, just like that, that cable is out. So, we'll probably clean that up just a little bit more, put the wrenches down, and I'm going to go ahead and knock that side loose, and then we'll pull the other sides, the other ends out, show you how that's done, put the new ones in. Hopefully they are the right length. I'm sure they are. I mean, it's, yeah, they have to be, right? And so, close this one out. Okay, I changed up the lights just a little bit. Really what it is, there's this rubber boot. Pull that boot over and that slides out, and then out comes the cable. The other side comes out just the same, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that one out, and then we'll check these out on the floor next to each other, make sure the lengthwise they're the same, and then put in the new cables. Okay, here's the new cables. They are the same length. Now the difference, so that you can see, this is the new one here, this is the old one. The difference is the new brake system from Wilwood has a little hook that slides through there. This doesn't have that hook, so they don't work that way. But the easy part is we get to put this together, put the little clip in there, and then tie the other end together. So actually, pretty easy. So let's go put these back in and get this job done. Okay, on this one, there's these little grooves that are in here. This E-clip right there goes into one of those. Once it goes up into the caliper, I had to pull that one off. And then now we're going to go ahead and slide the cable back up in there and start putting this thing back together. Okay, it's pretty simple. This cable goes up through this hole here. Well, it doesn't have to go in there that way. Let me set the E-clip right there. It goes up, pops around that little arm that's on the back side of the brake lever. That goes in there, and then that E-clip simply goes into place like so. They say use a pair of channel locks, but sometimes you can kind of use your finger and get it to go in there. Let it sit there for a second. I've got a screwdriver here. I'm trying to do this so you can see what I'm doing. And gently kind of pop it on there, if it'll go. This one doesn't act like it wants to go. It does not want to play nice. I got a little bit of stuff in the way though. There we go, just like that. And in it goes. Now on this one, there's the kind of the double nut, the jam nut. You got to pull them apart. Pull that off of there. It's just basically so you can get that wire through there. Put that little washer back up. Put the jam nut back over. And tighten it back up. And then you can rotate the cable a little bit to kind of get it to rest in the position that you want it to, which I want it to go up so that it's away from the spring so we don't have any issues with it rubbing. When I tighten this down and lock it down, it'll stay in this position up here so that it doesn't get in the way. And so now we're going to reposition and put it in the front side. Boy, that sounded bad. Okay, so for this one you want to take that the other end of the jam nut off. I'm going to run this back that direction a bit. We don't know exactly where we want it quite yet. Really, we're just trying to put it all kind of together. And then we'll get it in the position that we want it and adjust the brake and everything else. The important part here is to get all of this in. I'm going to tighten it down, but I'm not going to put it in its final until we actually have the car back out and do a road test with the brake and everything. But we're going to put it about there. We got enough tension on it. It's actually actuating the brake arm, so there we are with that. I'm going to tighten this down, and that's it. Really a pretty easy process for this. Other brake systems are similar with their parking brakes. The only drawbacks are some of them you have to actually go inside the backing plate and get the other end of the cable kind of attaches that way, and so it makes it kind of a pain in the butt to get in there. But really this one pretty simple. I already did this side, and I think this side needs a little bit of slack out of it, but like I said, I don't want to take too much slack out of everything yet, only because I want to be able to do the adjustment later on. So I am going to go ahead and tighten these down, lock them into place. I'm going to lock these other ones into place too, just for now, and then if need be, and who knows, it may wind up being right where it needs to be when we go to put this thing together and be done with it. So anyway, I'm going to take care of that, and then we'll see on the other side. Well, that was probably, as far as this car has gone so far, probably the easiest of the individual projects to do. It's nice that I get to check something off the list, and so we're starting to roll back into that a little bit more and more. I'm still working on the brakes. They're kind of fighting me a little bit in a couple of spots, and so I'm not real happy with them, but it is what it is. So anyway, we'll get that done. We'll get to it, but this job's done. This one's closed out. Appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider subscribing. I can use all the help I can get. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching Yellow Jacket Garage, and as always, we'll see you on down the road.